The founder of the Asher Centre, Zerbanoo Gifford, was born in India in 1950. At the age of 3, she came to live with her parents, Kitty and Bailey, in London, where they ran a hotel business. On her 21st birthday, she met Richard, a human rights lawyer, to whom she has been happily married ever since. They have 2 sons, Mark and Alex, who have grown up participating in their parents' shared passion for justice. The family has now expanded to include Mark's wife, Monica, and 3 grandchildren. Zerbanoo's heritage goes back to ancient Persia. Her life and achievements are typical of her ancestors' Zoroastrian faith. They were followers of Zoroaster, the first prophet to proclaim the one God, free will, and the endless battle between good and evil, culminating in a day of judgment when we are all accountable for our thoughts, words, and deeds. Zerbanoo has combined the Zoroastrian traditions of public service and philanthropy with fighting for others' rights, women's empowerment, and ending child labour. Zerbanoo's public life started in 1982 with her political election victory in Harrow, London. This gave her the opportunity to chair commissions and advise political leaders, meet foreign dignitaries, clean up the environment, and champion women's equality. She has campaigned tirelessly for children's education and was director of the oldest human rights organisation in the world, Anti-Slavery International, bringing to the world's attention the pressing need to end modern-day slavery and child exploitation. She was also involved with the anti-apartheid movement, being chosen to present the People's Petition to Mrs. Thatcher at 10 Downing Street, calling for full mandatory sanctions against the racist regime in South Africa and for the release of Nelson Mandela. Her work in the interfaith movement led her to meet many religious leaders, including Pope John Paul II and Archbishop of Canterbury, George Carey. Zerbanoo has authored 7 books, in which she championed the noble campaigns of outstanding individuals, including her 2 heroes, Dadabhai Naoroji, the first Asian to become a Member of Parliament in Britain, and Thomas Clarkson, who spearheaded the campaign to end the transatlantic slave trade. In 2004, Zerbanoo was awarded a Nesta Fellowship, Britain's National Endowment of Science, Technology and Art, for which she interviewed and wrote about 300 women from 60 countries whose inspirational lives have changed our world. Undoubtedly, Zerbanoo's greatest achievement has been the founding of the Asher Centre, which works for the empowerment of young people. Located in the Royal Forest of Dean in England, the Asher Centre has been transformed from a run-down house and neglected land into an elegant Georgian home with magnificent gardens. Today's visitors are stunned by the beauty of the environment, with its rose and tulip gardens, its biodynamic orchards and vegetable beds, its meandering stream running through the grounds, and its sacred grove and labyrinth. New buildings have been erected for educational purposes, including the Pavilion Training Studio and Eco-Lodge. In honour of Tolkien, who took inspiration from the Forest of Dean to write his famous trilogy Lord of the Rings, a children's area has been created, called Hobbiton, which they share with hobbits and fairies, of course. The Asher Centre is recognised as a magical place where people receive inspiration for their lives. They become more conscious of their life purpose and are able to connect more deeply with nature, each other, and their higher selves. The Centre has an outstanding track record in delivering transformative education in the fields of interfaith understanding, sustainable development, and the performing arts. It is a major provider of the Erasmus Plus programme for non-formal education, sponsored by the European Union in partnership with the British Council. This enables young people from all over Europe, including the Balkans, Baltic states, the Middle East and the Caucasus region, to attend residential training courses free of charge. One example, for which Asher won a Best Practice Award, involved teenage orphans from Ukraine, Georgia and Armenia, who together with young people from Britain created a poignant coming-of-age theatre production. Theatre is used at Asher as a means to build confidence and create social cohesion. Young Arab and Jewish Israelis rehearsed plays together which they performed back in their homeland, successfully bringing together their divided communities. Young South Africans from the townships of Johannesburg devised plays on African themes, one of which was presented to Nelson Mandela at his home. Asher also runs an annual leadership program for postgraduate Indian women from disadvantaged backgrounds. They return to India as peace ambassadors with a greater sense of social responsibility, and have worked in prisons, schools and old people's homes. Touched by their interaction with the Indian women, members of a neighbouring community for adults with special needs asked if they too could become peace ambassadors. After 3 years training, they are now proud to be gold medal peace ambassadors. Asha was chosen by the British Council to take the lead in a 2-year international project to develop an innovative competence framework for peace educators. Together with partner organisations from Latvia, Germany, Turkey and the Netherlands, Asha produced a manual called Designing Learning for Peace, launched in 2016. At Asha, people of different nationalities and religions learn about each other's traditions. Courses are offered on intercultural and interfaith themes to foster open-mindedness and an understanding of each other's beliefs. Asha also hosts regular courses on sustainable living for young people concerned about the environment and wishing to lead a healthier lifestyle. During these courses, they learn about the principles of biodynamic agriculture and experience the joys and challenges of working on the land. Young people have the opportunity to interact with distinguished speakers and experts in various fields, such as editor and peace pilgrim Satish Kumar, local MP Mark Harper, leader of the House of Lords Baroness Royal, and member of the European Parliament Glyn Ford. Volunteers from all over the world come to Asha for between 1 month and a year and take part in the centre's activities of gardening, preparing meals and hosting groups. Asha also sends young people from Britain to volunteer abroad in such countries as Serbia, Spain and Albania. Some examples of the many young people who have benefited from the Asha experience are Cyprian, a Kenyan athlete who was supported to take his maths degree in England and is now serving in the British Army. Sally, a Chinese singer who was unable to complete her opera training in Wales and is now running her own theatre in Tenerife. Ted, a local unemployed school leaver who, after his gardening apprenticeship at Asha, where he met his American wife, is now working as a biodynamic gardener in upstate New York. And Gianni, a young gentleman from Verona looking for his life's direction, who after being mentored by Zerbanoo went on to graduate in peace studies and is now overseeing the refugee program in Venice. These and the thousands of other young people who testify to their life-changing experience at the Asha Centre and go on to become active change makers in the world are the true fulfilment of Zerbanoo's vision and her lasting legacy.